Okay, so she has done some typing, so maybe it's good to learn from the way she write, and we can just analyze also. Now, Woven Nanda City, are you here? You need to unmute and just. Okay, yeah, right, yes, yes, it's okay. Now, can you start to talk and explain to us how you read about this? Who is the Buddha?
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, okay.
Have to writing this assignment. Have to search for a lot of books and readings and dictionary.
Okay, good.
When the first impression in my mind is when I saw the title, "Who is the Buddha?" is the Buddha Anusati, that one. Because I chant
Okay,
this
Buddha
every day.
Anusati.
So yeah.
Okay,
So
good. Okay. All right. So your introduction, you write something, and then your main point is on the Buddha Anusati, because when you see the title, who is the Buddha, that's come to your mind. Okay, that's good. Okay. All right. So where you get all this data? You say from books or from internet, or how is it?
Yeah. A lot of different sources.
Okay. All right. Okay. So when you write this, I also suggest to you, because you write this. Or one thing I didn't type in here. So you are going to write like Siddhartha Gautama, right? This is Sanskrit version. So if you want to write, you also need to write the Pali version. Siddhartha Gautama. Okay. So Pali version also, and you write the 6th century. So because 6th century is very is 100 years, it's too general. So it's better you more specific. So like it's good in the exam you can write all this more specific. Then it look like you are more professional.
Okay.
Or more detail is better, rather than 6th century. When the first impression when I see your homework, I would say this is too general. You know, that they come to my mind like this. So if you put like full moon, or I think at that time they don't even have May. They call it the which day, Kazon day, or I don't know which day, like in the Indian time. So you have to find out the exact day, the moon, you know. Okay. Then so your things, all right. And also I add in, you write to human. I add in this to he was a human, you know, because we want to show that. I think you also have some idea. He's a human, but he is an extraordinary human. You want to show like this, right? Because owing to his special characteristic to it. And then here you write down about the ETB, so the 7 attributes, the one that you chant. Okay. Now I add in this one. You know the reason why I add in this one, because if you don't do like this, then you are talking about the 9 attribute of the Buddha, and then you need to show that by this attribute one can get to know that who is the Buddha. You need to link your this 9 attribute to the title. You know, you are talking about the title here, and you're talking about the 9 attributes here, but there's no linking, right? The way I see, you are having the introduction, the background study. All right, this is called background, and then you're talking about 9 attributes, but you never go back to the title. So it's very important. Even in introduction, you need to go back to the title. Okay. All right. Okay. So now you start with the all right. So if you want to do a Pali, you also need to be careful. Don't make so much mistake. This is a small mistake, but we can know. Like we do Anutaro, you put Amutaro. You know, this is a small mistake, but you also show that you are not so
not professional.
Not professional in Pali yet. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, all right. So now you put the itiviso. Okay. All right, now, okay, good. You have all these kind of different definition about the Arahan and so on. Okay, Ari and Hatha, right? If you put Ari and Hatha, then you need to show us how Ari Hatha become Arahan. You know, even simple things like this, it really show us that the idea connect, because you have the Ari, you have the Hatha, and you have Arahan, And you can just put simple things like this. It's very simple, but it really link. Okay, all right. Then you talk about all these killer of all the enemies. Enemies means defilements, right? Okay, this is okay, no problem. Okay, so Sama Sambuddha is good. You also put some Pali definition, some Buddho, some Buddho. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. It's only my side has something wrong. Okay, there's no problem. And then you also put some quotation of Pali. That's good. Na me acharyo nati. Right, you put the Pali. But if you're going to have this kind of question in the exam, you have to write down the same Pali. But make sure you don't make some mistake, because in my university, all my Pali teacher are very professional in Pali one. Okay. But for your all entrance exam, no problem. Okay, now you write the Vijaya Chana Sampano. Okay, now one thing about here. Okay, you can see now so far you're only using he, right? You're so far using he refer to the Buddha, right? And then suddenly you put you see. The moment I see you see, I was thinking why it's like change of pronoun very fast, right? Before that, there's no I, there's no you, there's no we. So far on the top up to here, you only talk about he and he and he, right? He, you see, he and he and he. All right. And then now we are talking about writing style, because sometimes in my when I listen to seminar, the professor also say, be careful pronoun. Suddenly you want to see, you see, right? But if you're going to make it as formal writing, so better don't use the word you see. You can use one sees, right? Yeah, compared to you see, because you refer to who. Who are you? If you say you see, I will ask you, who is you? Who are these you? Who is this you? All right. Okay, so then you better write you see or one see. One sees things like this. One realize it, then it's better. Okay. Okay. Now after that you have your sugato. Now sugato had two. One is a well gone. Another one is a speaking rightly. All right. Su and gato. But su gato, right? Correct. Gato is a past participle. Gato. You all learn the Pali. And then but su gato. How you get su gato is the speaking rightly. I think another one is sugata. Sugata. No, Sugada. Not here. I think it's SUDU. You need to find out, because Sugata and speaking lightly, there's another term for it. For this one, I think you have to check the other book for explanation. All right. Okay. So you need to find out more about this.
Okay.
All right. So it's not Sugata. I think Sugata, something like that. Okay. Okay. You need to find out. I think in the Vishnumaga, Vishnumaga also got this one.
Yeah, check.
Okay, yeah, you check it again. All right. Then local redo is correct. Now you see your local redo, you type correctly. But on the top, your local redo, you put local redo. Oh, sorry, with the H. H is the wrong one. Okay. D is correct. So H is correct. And D is so it's local, should be local redo. Okay, redo. Right. Not this one. Not the DH. Let's delete. Okay. Right. Anutara. Okay. Then you. So this means that after you finish the article, you need to check back the Pali, because I think you're still not so professional on Pali, right? So you need to pay a little bit attention on the Pali. Now you write the local redo, no problem. Okay, this no problem. And anotara. This is okay, because it's only my side is only a little bit jam here. Okay. Anutara. Okay, now you can see. Now you can see the Pali. Same mistake. Do you see that?
Yes.
Here you double T, and here is single T. All right. Okay. So if you are not so good in Pali, you need to pay a little bit attention. After you finish writing, you need to go back and check with the right spelling. All right. Okay. Now this okay, no problem. Then now this one. If you want to talk about root, boot, then you have to tell us it's the root. Okay. Because then we know it's from the root. Then to understand the awakening, there's no problem. Buddha. And then if you are going to, I check the one you type. It's a little bit different from the one I check on internet. There's a comma in between. The one you say, this one, the Buddha say what? He has no other teacher, something like that, right? Yeah, okay. So this means that from whatever you copy from internet, you need to check again. you know how to get this software, right? The Pali Chinese software. Do you have any Pali software or whatever?
I have
No.
the Pali reader. The
Pali,
Pali,
yes,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, so you try to check again, all right? So yeah, it's not so maybe not important, but at least now you try, now you get better. Now you got Bhagawa, right? One of the definition of Bhagawa is Bhaga, auspicious, you know. Okay, you can get more from Vishnumaga, right? It's no problem, you can get more. Okay, now come to conclusion. So just now you have add in more conclusion here. You're talking about the Buddha search for truth, guys. The truth expounded the truth. His first discourse is Dhamma Chakkapavatthana. He gave his Istipatthana or something. I was thinking this one, if you put in the introduction, it might be better. Okay, because if you are talking about 9 attributes of Buddha, you also to do with the Buddha's qualities and Buddha teaching. We like Buddha teach this, all this can save the human beings, Dhamma Chakkapavatthana. All right. So you see your conclusion. Okay, your conclusion has how many paragraphs? Your conclusion has 1, 2. See, your conclusion only got 1 and 2. Very short. Okay, very short, 1 and 2. But your introduction only got 1 and 2. But your conclusion is 4. Do you see that? In conclusion, got 4. Introduction only got 2. So conclusion is like not balanced with the introduction. So it does mean that you pay more attention to the conclusion. You didn't pay more attention in the introduction. So introduction, either you write more, or you can move this part to the introduction. Okay. All right. Because I was thinking this part you can change to the introduction, and then you can conclusion, you can start with this one, because when Buddha passed away, this is maybe the first part of this conclusion. All right. Okay. Then you talk about the lining, the lights, and so on. And then you can put this as your own feeling, like you say Buddha Sasanachan Titatu. Okay, that's good. This is good enough. Okay. So it's only yeah. So you need to like this. I think you have the 9 attributes of Buddha, which is very good already. So you need to polish more on your introduction and conclusion. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Because if not, it seems to be a little bit. I would say the content is good, very good, but the introduction and conclusion seems to be. You need to think more. You know, like previously Doris, she did a very good introduction and conclusion, even like the one Abhidhamma by Sister Ong. Did you see it? The one we show? Very good also. Yeah. Their conclusion introduction very good. Okay, so that's the thanks for your article. At least I'm happy that out of this class somebody writing something. Okay. All right.
Thanks.
So okay, thanks. So we will go back to this. Okay, now, okay, so yes. Now we go back to this. You can, now, on the previous lesson, we start on this, from these 7 places of the enlightenment, why 7 weeks, and then the Anika Jati Samsara. And after that, today we're going to do, after 7 weeks, what happened, and then he go to Benares, and some of the questions like daughters of the Mara. And when I check on the Narada book, it seems to be, the sequence is a little bit out, I think. So, okay, before that, we just do some warm-up exercise for those students here. Some of you have learning some Dhamma for many years, all right? So, okay, let's start with this one. Okay, who is the first one to offer food right before enlightenment? Okay, she was Sujata, right? I think it's a long A, Sujata. Okay, and what kind of food she offer? It's a milk rice. And what is the name of milk rice in Bali? Do you know what's anybody? Brother Ong or whatever? How you call this in Bali? No answer? Okay, for this one,
I don't know. Can't
Ghana.
remember.
Ghana, okay. Ghana milk rice. Okay, so Ghana milk rice, okay. For the, and where is the place? Warm up exercise now. Where is the place?
Bodhgaya.
Naranja.
Neranjara. Okay. So Neranjara is near to where? Neranjara river. So the river is very big, right? So the exact place is
Shallow.
Shallow. Okay. So we look at this. Veluwana forest. Okay. So from this, you have to look at this conical Buddha. You know? Okay. Yeah. Then she said she offered at the Niranjara. Yeah, then the Mara came. Okay, Niranjara. Okay. With this Ghana milk rice, right? So this is the place. So it's good to get some location also. Niranjara.
Naranjara.
Niranjara, okay. So milk rice. Okay, now one more exercise number 2. Okay. Right after enlightenment. Okay. Who was the name of the person after enlightenment? Offer the food.
The two merchants, I think.
Yeah, okay. 2 merchants. What were
Tapusa
they?
and Balika.
Okay. Tapusa and
I think Balika.
Balika. Okay, hopefully we get the Balika. What do they offer? What kind of food do they offer?
There was some rice cake, I think.
Rice cake. Okay. All right.
I think
So
so.
later we will study it. Okay. So where is the place?
At the Good
The
Hurt Banyan Tree. Good Hurt
Banyan
Banyan Tree.
Aja what? Aja Pala, right?
Ajata Pala, something like that.
Okay. This one we will go through later.
Yeah, you
And
can
then
check.
yeah, later we will, because later we will discuss on this. So today is just warm up. Later we will discuss on this. Okay, now the last one. Okay, now the last one. Okay, who was the last one before Buddha passed away?
Chunda.
Chunda. Okay, what did he offer?
Suka something.
Suka Mudaba.
Yeah, Sukha Magama. Yeah. I think Sukara Madawa.
Sakara something. Yeah.
Yeah, some kind is they call it like this one I have less or not some. And where is the last place? Where is the place that Buddha passed away? What? Kushi? The place,
Kusinara.
yeah, Kushinara, right? Yeah. Okay. So okay. Number 2 we will discuss later. So let's go for number 3 first. All right. It's actually interesting when I was doing the research what kind of food that Buddha eat. He is offered by this Chunna Kamaraputta, son of Smith at the Kushinara, Pali word or Kushinaga. The food is called Sukara. Sukara is a pig. Okay. Pig. Okay. Sukara. Okay. So means it's a pig. All right. So Madawa maybe soft tender pig. So it's either tender pig, bowl meat, or what is enjoyed by pigs and bowls. It might be mushroom. Okay. So it's also a kind of view because people, the vegetarian will prefer that number 2. All right. Then those maybe prefer number 1. All right. Because number 2 seems to be more vegetarian rather than offer the Buddha meat at that time. Anyway, it's subject to, all right. So, okay. So later we will look at the food that Buddha eat by the 2 merchants. Now because last week when I teach, I realized that there's a lot of points seems to be very complicated, right? So I was looking at the different timing. So the first one that we already go through according to this book, first watch, dependent origination, anuloma. Second watch, patiloma. Third watch is reverse and direct and reverse order. Okay. And then according to what I read in the Buddha Wangsa Atthakatha commentary, all right? So first part of the watch, Pachima Patamanami, all right? He do the Pubba Nivasa Jnana. This means that he see the past life, yeah, of his own past life. Then the second night, no, Majjhima Yama, Dibachaku. He divine eye. He see the past life of other beings. So the first one is on past life, okay? Second one is on other life. And then the last life, and then the last part, he do the dependent origination. And he dependent origination, he also had this attend the Arhata Magga Jnana, which is called the Asavakaya Jnana, means the cessation of all kangas, yeah, knowledge. So knowledge of the cessation. So in the last word, so then he arise the Sabbanyuta Jnana, right? So according to this statement, in the last part, he contemplate the dependent origination, okay? But according to this book, he actually do the throughout the night, all right? From the first watch, second watch, and third watch, 3 parts, the 3 sessions. But according to this, he only do on the last session. So it's kind of like different timing here, I would say. Okay. But anyway, we only, so far, we just confirm by contemplate on dependent origination, then he achieved the highest Magga, the Arhata path knowledge, and also called cessation of all the kangas, and then he realizing the Sabbanyuta, omniscient knowledge. Okay, that's so far that I was confused about the timing here. And then this Aneka Jati Samsara is the one that Buddha, after right very immediately at the dawn, you know, when he attained the enlightenment, then he uttered this one. Yeah, okay. And then according to the knowledge, he say he was just, at the time was just still sitting at the Bodhi tree. Okay, under Bodhi tree. Then he recite this one. This is the one that first utterance of the Buddha. Right, so this one we already go through. Now, okay, now we go back to what we go through last week. So first week, he sit under the Bodhi. So now we also need to see the posture of the Buddha, because we are thinking about somebody who are going to happen 7 weeks. So in this 7 weeks, what is the posture? First week, he's still sitting. Second week, he's standing and gazing at the Bodhi tree from distance. Third week, he create a jewel bridge, right? And then he paced up and down. He had to create himself because the Deva are doubting his whether he attend the Buddhahood or not. So the point is, where is it, right? So according to some of the Pali, he said, between the Bodhi tree and the place that he stood. So it's not so far, because he was standing somewhere near the Bodhi tree, so he can stand it. So the one that I copy from the internet will be from the Pali. Okay. From the sitting place to where he stands. Right? So this place is called the Ratana Chankamana. Okay. And then this third week. And then the fourth week, there's inside the jewel chamber. So at that time, he was contemplating the Abhidhamma. Now, who is creating this one? All right. So is it created by the Deva? So we can think about it. Is it by the Deva or by himself? Because before that, on the third week, he had to create this jewel. So to tell himself that, to inform the Deva that he has become he has attained the enlightenment. So fourth week, who is creating? That's a question we can ask. Is it by the Deva, or is it cold? The place is cold. It's not a real place, but it is cold because the Buddha reflect on the jewels or Abhidhamma. Okay, but according to some of the according to some of the commentary, this Vinaya Mahavaga Atagata. So this is created by the Deva, right? You can see the Deva, many Deva, they create it. Right? So this is by the power of the Deva. Okay. And then the point that when he created the Abhidhamma, there's color come up. And then the 5th week, he go to Ajapala tree, you know. And then he met somebody who called is a Brahmin, but it's a very conceited one. So I was checking the Tipitaka, very interesting. What is his name? His name is called Hum Hum Ka Jatiko or Dita Dhamma Dita Mangaliko. All right. So I just copy. Of course, you are not learning the Pali, but it's okay just for you all to say. So there was this person. Yeah. Why he call this name? Okay. Yeah. Why did he call this name? All right. The commentary explained that he is called this Hum Hum Ka Jatiko because when he move around, he like to make the sound hum hum. So it's actually interesting. His name is quite interesting. So, but his name is a Dikta Mangaliko. All right. So this is a Brahmin that approached the Buddha, or the Buddha saw him at the 5th week, but he did not become the Buddha disciple. And then he just asked the question about Brahmana. Who is a Brahmana? All right. Okay. So next one, on the 6th week, then he go to the Muchalinda lake. Then the Naga came to protect. So when the Naga also protect, this means that also to show that he respect the Buddha's power. Okay. So now, then this one don't have that. Now the 7th week. Now 7th week, he's a Raja Yatana tree. And then this one we call it Vimutti Sukha. Vimutti means the emancipation, but it's also to do with the Arhata Megapala. Then at this place, he received the food from the 2 merchants. All right. The name here, according to, is called Tapusa Balika from Okala. Okala is said as a Orissa. Orissa is actually is add on later. Orissa, it seems like the Indian state, you know. But this one I copy from Bali. Okay, Tapusa Balika Wanija merchant. Okay, Ukala from this place. Now, who is this Ukala? I think you all have studied the Pali history, so must ask some of the senior students here. Brother Ko or Brother Ong, have you studied about this place? Where is this Ukala?
Never heard.
Oh, you all never heard about the place where these 2 persons coming from?
Never did. In fact, do not know where exactly. It
Okay.
just mentioned, that's all.
Is it Burma?
Yes, yes. Because in Myanmar, we have one place we call it, we have a place called South Okalapa here, in a city here. We have a city called here, Okalapa. And they say they are coming from Myanmar because the Buddha give him the hair, right? Then they bring back to Myanmar and shine in the Shadagon. So this place is from Myanmar, they say.
So, but
Yeah.
Sergey, this is your Myanmar view. This Orissa in bracket is a modern name for one of the states in India.
Right. Yes, yes. So Orissa, the one they put in bracket, it seems to be from which one? I think it's a Indian city, right? India, one of the Indian city. Yeah.
Yeah, Indian state.
Yeah. So this is also subject to a view. Where is this exact place? So it's actually good research for people. Anybody doing the research can really research where is this Okala. All right. But of course, in Myanmar view, they say all this the Buddha hair is bring back and shine in Shadagon. And here we have the Myanmar book, Myanmar story to support the view. Okay. Anyway, just leave it so we know the place coming from Okala. All right. So okay. And what do they offer? This one, Mandu Pindika. Right. So Mandu Pindaka. Mandu is a Madu, of course, it's like Malay word. So they call it flour. Pindaka is kind of like round thing here. So a bowl of flour mixed with honey. So how they call it? Sometimes they call it, I think, dried wheat with the honey. So we can just take it. But of course, you're not going to eat the flour. You know? Why you eat the flour? So maybe flour means refer to wheat because they are traveling from far place. So it should be very dry food that can keep for a long time. So I think I read somewhere wheat with honey. But so far, I think I never eat this thing in Myanmar also. Okay. So tapusa balika. Right. So we go back to just now. Okay. So tapusa BH balika. Offer this. And the place you offer is where? Okay, where's the place he offer? Just now? The 7 week. Okay. Rajayatana. Okay, so now we have all the answer. Right, Sujata, the one after enlightenment is tu macam tapusa balika from Okala. The last one is Chunda at the Krishnala. Okay, now we go back to that one just. So here, according to the book, he said after the Buddha get up from the Muchalinga, he go to this place, the 7 week Rajayatana. And then at that time, he meet the 2 merchants, Tapusa and Balika from Ukala, right? Then they offer the Madhu Pindika, right? Because the Deva, which is their past relatives, tell them to tell what they say. Friend Bhagawa is now stay in the Rajayatana Viharati after he already attained the enlightenment. Okay, so Gachata, you go. Okay, you go to the blessed one. Then you offer this Madhu Pindaka. And this will be, Bhavisati will be long-term happiness for you all. So for the Vinaya Pitaka Mahawagapari, it's quite interesting to read this one. Okay. So already, so this is 7 weeks. So Buddha stayed there for 7 days in this 7 weeks, and then he received the food. So this is the food, first food after 49 days. So after that, he go. After then we have the after 7 weeks, right? Now the question is, remember last week I was asking you this question, right? Why 7 weeks? You know, because maybe he went to 7 different places. Maybe the food given by Sujata can last for 7 weeks, and the body can last so long without the food because of meditation power, right? So any other question, any other possible answer you all can think about it? Why not? What, like no 4 weeks, or why not 8 weeks? What, no 2 weeks? Why is it 7 weeks? Is it any significance of this 7? You know, because I think there's a lot of 7 also in the Tipitaka. Okay, anybody want to say something?
I agree. I think there's no, because even in Anguttara Nikaya, there is 1 to 11. So I don't think there is any specific significance to the 7. Because if you
Okay.
say 3 also, people will question why 3.
Why 3? Okay.
If you say 5 also, people will question why 5.
Okay. So we just leave it like that. All right.
But before that, maybe can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How on the 7 week, how do the Deva knows that the Buddha is enlightened and is able to guide his distant relatives to do the offerings?
Yeah, because they are staying around that side. They know already. The Buddha already start to move around from one place to another one place.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that that person is enlightened, right? Or how do they recognize that that person is enlightened? Or for example,
No,
even
okay.
having the
Yeah. You see
Sankama, or what
yes.
does the
Yeah.
psychic power show? Because many of the spiritual attainment knows about psychic power, ma.
Okay. But this means that they have the faith, the faith, the sada that the Buddha will be enlightened. Of course, they cannot by their psychic power, but their psychic power is impossible. They don't have the psychic power to read the Buddha mind, The Buddha mind, nobody can read it. But they have the faith, belief that he can be a Buddha. and waiting for him. I would say waiting in anticipation. All right. So those who ask the two merchants to go, they are really believe that he can be a Buddha. There's one way we can think about that. All right.
So
Yeah. All these are doing by the Buddha, all this power, walking around by the bridge and so on. The Buddha is showing his power already. You see? On the third week, showing the power.
Because if you look at the Kassapa, Kassapa, Uruvela Kassapa, even after so many psychic power, he still don't believe him.
Yeah, because they don't have the faith. That's the reason. They don't have the faith at all.
Oh, okay.
Right?
That's one
Yeah.
explanation.
Yeah, right. And also before the Buddha come, they already heard the news that the Buddha, before the Buddha come, right? They already heard the news that they will be the Buddha, right? So this one you have to remember last time I was telling you the what Buddha Hora, the news. There are some news that Buddha can appear in the world. So all the Brahma and Deva, they are waiting in anticipation for the Buddha to come. That once I think I had to go down to the very last page. This book is a 1,700 pages. If you want to read non-stop, it will take you 3 months. I read, I think I read most of them. It really take me 3 months to read all every day, non-stop.
I only read the look of the Buddha's list of the Buddha names.
Yeah, okay. Now this one. This one. No, this one up row 1669. I think I showed you last week 1669. So what's the page now? 1669. Okay, wait, let us go to this book first. 1669.
Who wrote the Buddha Pangsa?
By the Tipitaka Sayadaw, the Myanmar, the first Tipitaka Sayadaw who memorized the whole Tipitaka, and this translated into English by some of the disciples. But this book is very comprehensive because it covers the main point that we all should know. Okay.
But where did he get this information?
Huh?
Where did he get all this information?
He get from all the Tipitaka. Because he's a Tipitaka Dara, means that he has memorized the whole Tipitaka. So that of course he'll be able to get the information from inside his mind, Okay, Buddha Kolahara. So it's a predict in the world of human, the Buddha will arise. Right? So the Brahma from the Sudavasa, they know in advance the omniscient Buddha will come. So they already know. So they come to the human world, they already shout and explain in 1,000 years ahead of this event, omniscient Buddha will come to being. So this is called Buddha Kolahala. This means that they already, those Deva, and of course not the human would not be so long life. The Deva already know that in future, 1,000 years ago, before the Prince Siddhartha came, there will be a Buddha evidently come to the world. All right. So you can quote this one. The Buddha, how did the Deva know? Because the Brahma from the Sudavasa. Okay, Brother Ko? Brother Ko?
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So
it's more like preparations for the arrival of the Buddha.
Yeah. Brahma from the Sudavasa. Okay. Announced.
I think there's the same
1,000
case.
years later that
the Deva
Buddha will appear. It's same case for the Chakawala, Okay. There are a few, this one we call it Kolahala. Kolahala is kind of like uproar. They call it the uproar. There are few here. You have the Mangala. Like last time we say why people know the Mangala, because there's people already talk about this Mangala. So they also go Manaya. This is another practice, very difficult practice also. So we got 3 here, mentioned here. Okay. So Mangala, you see, Sudawasa know in advance the Buddha will give the discourse on the Mangala and aware of the thought people yearn for the truth or auspiciousness. All right. So before 12 years before Buddha delivery, this is 12 years now. Then just now the Buddha Kola is 1,000 years. All right. So by this one, of course, all the Deva and Brahma will know. Okay. So we can get this as a 1 point. All right. So this. So this is a title by itself. Have you heard about this?
No.
But no, you
First
never
time.
heard about it.
First time.
First time. But do you heard that there's some announcement that the Buddha will come in the world? Have you heard about that? Announcement that the Buddha will appear in the world. First time.
Like Maitreya, but then we do not know when.
Yeah, because the Maitreya is not coming yet. The Maitreya will come only when the teaching of the Buddha, the Dhamma, totally disappear.
Yeah.
So we will know. We will not know. Not now. Okay. All right. So now we already know after 7 weeks and what happened after 7 weeks. All right. So after the 7 weeks, he emerged from his samatha. Then from the Raja Yatana, he go to this Ajapala. All right. Nigrodo, and Nigrodo is a banyan tree. All right. Then he stayed there. Okay, what happened there? All right. So from here we go back to the book. So I think we can go. I think the sequence of this book is a little bit confused here. So I was get confused by it. So I was looking at the Sampali. So where are we?
Saiji, I got one question.
Okay. Yes, you can
Saiji,
ask.
on the middle watch, when you say he attained Dibajaku, right? So what is Chutu Papata Nyana? He attained
is the one that also
knowledge on the
Chutu
disappearing
Papada.
and
Yeah, that is seeing is identified with the Dibachaku. Dibachaku means divine eye. Divine eye is a psychic power. So one of the psychic power is this one.
so
one is under the divine eye. Okay.
Oh, so
okay.
When we quote both two.
Yes, you quote
together.
both. If this is too difficult for you, you just quote the Dibachaku, divine eye.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. I think this one we already mentioned. The different name from Dibachaku is this Chutupa Papatanyana. It's only actually means that trying to see the beings appear, disappear, means that see how they born, they pass away. So at first, the knowledge is seeing himself the past life. After that, he see the past life or many beings pass away. Okay. So after enlightenment, so we go to here. Okay. I think the sequence here is no. Okay, now he added this Ajapala, all right? So this is after the 7th time. Okay. Okay. I think we can start to read from here. Okay, now we're on the chapter number 5. Okay. So invite Bande to read. Bande, please read. Yes. Are you able to unmute, Bande? I think his side a little bit difficult here.
Sayagi, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay. You can start your video. All right.
Okay. Hold on.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay.
Read from the start, right?
Yeah. The invitation to expound the Dhamma.
Yeah. The invitation to expound the Dhamma. He who imbibes the Dhamma abides in happiness with mind pacified. The wise man ever delights in the Dhamma revealed by the Aryas. The Dhamma as the teacher. On one occasion, soon after the enlightenment, the Buddha was dwelling at the foot of the Ajapala banyan tree by the bank of the Neranjara river. As he was engaged in solitary meditation, the following thought arose in his mind. Painful indeed is it to live without someone to pay reverence and show deference. How if I should live near an ascetic or Brahmin, respecting and reverencing him? Then it occurred to him, should I live near another ascetic or Brahmin, respecting and reverencing him, in order to bring morality, tilakanda, to perfection? But I do not see in this world, including gods, maras and brahmas, and amongst beings, including ascetics, Brahmins, gods and men, another ascetic or Brahmin who is superior to me in morality, and with whom I could associate, respecting and reverencing him. Should I live near another ascetic or Brahmin, respecting and reverencing him in order to bring concentration, samadhi kanda, to perfection? But I do not see in this world any ascetic or Brahmin who is superior to me in concentration and with whom I should associate, respecting and reverencing him.
Is it there?
Okay, so on this article about these few paragraphs, what do you think is the feeling of the Buddha at the time?
He just, I think that like something like lonely lah.
Lonely. Why lonely?
Because the five ascetics already abandoned him earlier.
Okay.
And then after achieving enlightenment, he could not see anyone that's how to say, more superior than him in all aspects.
Okay. But why did he want to associate with somebody else? I mean, is it a need for Buddha to have companions since he already become Buddha? I'm going to ask you this question because let's say if you go for my university, they will ask you oral examination, no? They will ask you this kind of question. So you have to think on the spot how to answer, right? So let's say, so the question is now the Buddha is already, he's looking for somebody to stay together. But is it why the Buddha needs somebody to stay together? Why did he need some companion? You say he feel lonely.
Yeah, which means
yeah,
it's just like he wants to have like even though that time he has not it did not came to him that he will, how to say, establish a sangha, but then he also thought to have someone to, let's say, something like a kalyana mita.
Oh yeah, somebody to stay together. Okay. Okay, so okay, let's continue. So maybe the answer is at the back. Okay, so okay, so please read. Yeah.
Should I live near another ascetic or Brahmin, respecting and reverencing him, in order to bring wisdom, panya kanda, to perfection? But I do not see in this world any ascetic or Brahmin who is superior to me in wisdom, and with whom I should associate, respecting and reverencing him. Should I live near another ascetic or Brahmin, respecting and reverencing him, in order to bring emancipation, vimutti kanda, to perfection? But I do not see in this world any ascetic or Brahmin who is superior to me in emancipation, and with whom I should associate, respecting and reverencing him. Then it occurred to him, how if I should live respecting and reverencing this very Dhamma, which I myself have realized? Thereupon, Brahma Sahampati, understanding with his own mind in the Buddha's thought, just as a strong man would stretch his bent arm or bend his stretched arm, even so did he vanish from the Brahma realm and appeared before the Buddha, and covering one shoulder with his upper robe and placing his right knee on the ground. He saluted the Buddha with clasped hands and said thus, "Is it so, O exalted one? Is it so, O accomplished one? O Lord, the worthy, supremely enlightened ones, who were in the past did live respecting and reverencing this very Dhamma. The worthy, supremely enlightened ones who will be in the future will also live respecting and reverencing this very Dhamma. O Lord, may the exalted one, the worthy, supremely enlightened one of the present age also live respecting and reverencing this very Dhamma."
Okay, so from here that he also thought that of just respecting, revering this very Dhamma. Okay, so here is the Dhamma. What is the Dhamma here? What do you think the Dhamma is he's talking about?
The truth that he realized himself.
Okay, what kind of truth?
The one all in his the first, second, and third watch earlier.
Okay, about the impermanence, right? About the Nibbana, right? What else is because when we talk about Dhamma in Pali has many big meaning, no? Sometimes it can be the Buddha teaching, but at that time he did not teach anybody, so there's no Buddha teaching at all, right? So you are talking about the Dhamma will be the truth. So the truth is about what they say, how kind of truth? Anything that he realized during his enlightenment, right? Okay. So for example, like what he see the past life. You see all this, how you call this? Finally, we call it the impermanent suffering non-self, right? And also he see the Nibbana, that is a non-aging, non-death, and non-suffering. Okay? Yeah. So can think about this way because definitely there's no Dhamma teaching at that time. All right? So sometimes we don't just fix with the idea of Dhamma teaching. Okay? All right. Okay. I think that's all. So, okay. Yes, yeah, okay, you can just read up from here to here. So we finish this part, yeah, from here to here. Okay?
Okay. This the Brahma Sahampati said, and uttering which, furthermore he spoke as follows. Those enlightened ones of the past, those of the future, and those of the present age, who dispel the grief of many, all of them will live and are living respecting the noble Dhamma. This is the characteristics of all Buddhas. Therefore, he who desires his welfare and expects his greatness should certainly respect the noble Dhamma, remembering the message of the Buddhas. This the Brahma Sahampati said, and after which he respectfully saluted the Buddha, and passing round him to the right, disappeared immediately. As the Sangha is also endowed with greatness, there is also his reverence towards the Sangha.
Okay, so Sangha. So do we have Sangha at that time?
Not established yet.
Not established yet, right? So we see the note number 2. Oh, there was, because this scroll was delivered by the Buddha when he was at the Jetavana. Okay, all right. So at that time, there's no Sangha yet. Okay, thanks, Pandey. All right, thanks for reading. Okay, so from here, then the thoughts about the difficulties of the Dhamma. So Venerable Sadanandi, you can read this one, this part onwards. Yeah.
The invitation to expound the Dhamma. From the foot of the Raja Yatana tree, the Buddha proceeded to the Ajapala Bayam tree, and as he was absorbed in solitary meditation, the following thoughts occurred to him. This Dhamma which I have realized is indeed profound, difficult to perceive, difficult to comprehend, tranquil, agitated, not in the sphere of logic, subtle, and is to be understood by the wise. These beings are attached to material pleasure. This causally connected dependence arising is a subject. It is difficult to comprehend. And this demand the cessations of the conditions, the abandoning of all passions, the destruction of craving, the non-attachments and the sensations. We also matter not not easily comprehensible. If I too were to teach this Dhamma, the other would not understand me. That would be worrisome to me. That would be tiresome to me. Then these wonderful verses unheard of before are occurred to the Buddha. With difficulty have I comprehend the Dhamma. There is no need to proclaim it now. This Dhamma is not easily understood by those who are dominated by lust and hatred. The last written show in the darkness. Do not see this Dhamma which goes against the stream, which is abstract, profound, difficult to perceive and subtle. As the Buddha reflects thus, this one knows is posted to expound the Dhamma. Whereupon Brahma Sahampati reads the thoughts of the Buddha, and very that the world might perish through not hearing the Dhamma, approached him and invited him to teach the Dhamma thus. Oh Lord, may the accepted one expound the Dhamma. May the accomplished one expound the Dhamma. There are beings with little dust in their eyes, who not hearing the Dhamma will fall away. There will be those who understand the Dhamma. Furthermore, he remark, in ancient times, there arose in Magadha a Dhamma, impure, torched out by the cord of the open this door to the demonstrate. May they hear the Dhamma understood by the stainless one, just as one standing on the summits of a rocky mountain would behold the people around. Even so, may the all-seeing wise one ascend this palace of Dhamma. May the sorrowless ones look upon the people who are plunged in grief and are overcome by birth and decay.
Okay, so here is talking about the Buddha did not want to expound the Dhamma. Okay, okay. Now we talk about this Dhamma. Now, can you find what is this Dhamma? Just now I was asking the Bande. Now you can think about it. What is this Dhamma? I think it's mentioned here already.
The dependent originations.
Okay, and
the Four Noble Truths.
And also.
And also the.
And this one, Nibbana.
Nibbana, yeah.
So the Dhamma here, I think so far refer to dependent origination, Nibbana. Okay, because they are very difficult. Why? Difficult, not easy to perceive, difficult to comprehend, to understand, tranquil, exalted, and it's beyond the logic. What is beyond the logic? Like dependent origination, we still in the logic, but Nibbana is actually beyond the logic, right? It's very difficult to think about it. I mean, if people are going to ask you Nibbana, how will you explain? It's also not easy to explain to people what is Nibbana, right or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unworthy knowledge of person.
Yeah. Okay. So far we okay. Let's go to the typing. So after that, then the Buddha did not want to preach. Okay, the Dhamma. Okay. So which is the dependent origination, and then the Nibbana, and what maybe other things like we say the other thing like maybe past life or whatever. Past life also not. I think maybe you can see, but we call it the past life. The what the Buddha say unlimited past life. Nobody can understand it. It's many past life, which very difficult to see. Like we say one past life, maybe people understand, but if unlimited past life is not easy to think about it. Okay, what else? Yeah, and then another one, cessation, destruction. These are also difficult, no? Because of nobody will understand what is the meaning of destruction or craving. It's also not easy to understand when no craving at all. Okay. Of course, all these are talking about Nibbana, but just a cessation of unconditioned condition also not easy to understand. And how to abandon also not easy to follow. So all these are profound, deep, all right, not easy to follow. So even I think nowadays difficult to teach all these topics. Okay, Right.
This part, the number first can be categorized as point number 2. I mean, the point is
Sure.
going in the point number
This one,
2. Yeah,
cessation, abandoning. This is the second noble truth. This is a second noble truth. Number 2. Okay. No, this is the third noble truth. Cessation and condition, all these are third noble truth, is nibbana also. Yeah. Okay. But you, of course, you talk about third noble truth means all the four noble truth, of course. Because four noble truth come together.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So of course, other thing you can put in, for example, like anicca, dukkha, anatta. Especially the idea of anatta, also not easy to understand. Okay. Yeah. So that's why the Buddha reluctant to teach the Dhamma, which is very profound, okay, subtle, not easy to be understood. Okay. So that's why he didn't want to teach. Then the Buddha said, I find the Pali. He said later, if I were to teach, you can see this aya objective. If I would teach this Dhamma to others, others will not understand me. It's also objective. So mamasa to me, kila mato. I will be tired. It will be tiresome to me. Okay. So you can see the Buddha idea when he was thinking about how to teach the people about those profound Dhamma. So it's not easy. Okay, I think this is already mentioned in the next page. Then he came, Brahma Sahampati, right? So he come and approached the Buddha. So this is he came to request. Yeah. So this is also another good title. Yes. Okay. I'm trying to put this reference in. Okay, so I think from here is easy already. So he approached do you know who is he? Anybody know who is he? Okay, other student, do you know who is this Brahma? Why is it he got some got special right to come here and request the Buddha, you know? Why is it he's so special? So like Brother Ong, do you know who is he?
The chief of the Brahmas, the highest Brahma Pati, the Lord.
The highest?
Yeah, highest Brahma.
Okay. I think this book didn't mention. So from this one, you have to go to this the Great Chronicle book. So have to from there. So sometimes it's good if you find out like the story like this, then we get interested. Oh, who is this Brahma?
I thought he is the chief of the first Rupa Jana. I think first Rupa Jana ran the
First
chief
Rupa.
of the if I'm not wrong.
Okay. So let's try. So where is he? The Asawakaya attending Great Parami. Okay, he stayed third week second. Yes.
Is he the many years, many past life, Gatikara and
yeah. I think it was that time. 350. Okay. Try. So we have to look for this. Sometimes it's good to read and then go to another book, then we get some information and come back. Which page? 350. Three, 50. The book is now okay. Now second week, third week. Okay. All right. So this is the one. Okay. Now this one. Okay. He attended the first jhana. He reborn in the first jhana. He's a Mahabrahma. So those in the first jhana, we call it Mahabrahma. Right? He's called Sahampati Brahma. Okay. Then he requests the Buddha, of course, but who was he? No, okay. He said that he was a noble Thera, means that he was a monk, right? He was a monk in the Buddha Kassapa time. This means that not long ago. And then he born is because he get the jhana, and then he go to the first lupa and become Mahabrahma. This means that he was a Buddha disciple, okay? Buddha disciple. That's why he's so interested to preach ask the Buddha to preach the Dhamma. All right? Because he was a monk, noble Thera, he was a monk. Okay, so we can just put here, so we can at least get some background story about who is he. Okay.
I think, Saiji, I think not only that, because the way he narrate, he can remember that the past Buddha has also did this and that, on the Dharma side.
Yeah, because he was born as a monk and then he passed away. Of course, he can remember the Dhamma. Because the Brahma, they all are long life.
Yeah, but then he must have lived through many Buddhas. Then only he can say that way.
Yes. Yeah. Of course, not only this Buddha, but the last Buddha he met is the Kassapa. Okay. Yeah. Of course, he will meet many Buddhas. Yeah. But at least we know he's from the Mahabrahma. And he come together with how many? Many Brahma, Mahabrahma. They came together. Okay. So you can just put like this. So sometimes it's interesting to read some background story. So he come from the Brahma world. And then we call it, he attended the first, that means that he at the first Alupa plan. Right? So when he passed away, he still had the jhana, and he born a Brahma and become Mahabrahma. So after that, if he came together from the Brahma world, he came together with many other Brahma. Okay, so this means that actually a lot of people are waiting for the Buddha to appear. They're already waiting in anticipation. Yeah. Okay.
So that means he's not the chief lah, not the chief of
no,
the
not
first.
the chief.
Oh.
Not the chief. He didn't say he's the chief. He's just one of the Brahma. The chief is you're talking about the Saka king or whatever. No, it's not. It's not another Brahma.
Because the Saka king is in the Deva realm.
Oh yeah, the Deva realm. Yeah, this is Brahma realm. It's not the chief here. It didn't say he's a chief. It just said that he was something among in the past, and then he attended the first jhana. He become Brahma. That's all. Okay. So he approached the Buddha, invite him to teach with all the no, this you can see this is also interesting one. The one mentioned here, this part. I just copy here. Okay. All these are according to some of the maybe commentary, not really mentioned. The fact that the Brahma came and made requests is important for the Buddha. Before the Buddha teach, there must be somebody make request, to teach the Dhamma. When the Buddha was reflecting on the profundity of the Dhamma and abundant klesa, klesa means defilements and ascension beings, and was mentally inclined not to exert himself to teach, it's a Dhammata for all the. So it's a Dhammata means it's a nature for all the Buddha for somebody to make request. This means that somebody must make a request, then the Buddha teach. All right, according to this book. So that's why the Buddha is not going to teach immediately. He must wait for somebody to request him. Okay. All right. Anything to ask? All right. Then from there, yes.
If we read from here, Mahabrahma, that means he must be an Arya. Otherwise, how did he know so much of the information? Besides being Buddha followers, the many Buddhas.
Okay, the translation in the text is noble, So if you are talking about the noble means Arya, this means that he's a enlightened one. All right. If you are looking at this word, yeah, noble. But I think we still have to check the Tipitaka for this. Sometimes I'm also not sure because I never really do a proper search before. So okay, since we have got time, let's just try. Can we find something?
Because if, according to Theravada, if he's a Arahant, he will not be in the 31 realms. So he's probably still
I mean,
Asika.
before he passed away, he is still in the 31 realm. Before he passed away, he's still in the. After he passed away, of course, no lah. So before he passed away, he's still in the 31 plan. Okay. So that's the, I think here we can find the Pali. That's why it's good to learn Pali also. Oh, this is the direct Pali, yeah. Here is, I just copy it. And since you all also study Pali, so might as well just read some Pali also. So he at the Kassapa time, all right, he's a Buddha Sasana, means that he's inside the Buddha's teaching. His name is a Sahako, right? Tera. But he didn't say that he's Arya here, okay? He just say his name is, he get the Patama Jhana, and then without the jhana not disappear, and at the end of life, he appear in the first jhana plan, right? First jhana plan in those heaven. And then he's the one that with the kappa, he's a Mahabrahma, right? Become the one of the Mahabrahma. So his name is called Sahampati. Here he didn't say that he become enlightened or what. He just said that he's a monk, Tera, an elder in the Kassapa time. All right. So that's the first thing that I can find. Okay, anyway, we just, okay, leave it like that. So we know he's a monk. Definitely he's a Tera, means he's definitely a monk here. So that's why, of course, he's interested to request the Buddha to continue the teaching. And of course, all the Brahma, they will know that future Buddha will come because of the Kolahala. Okay, the announcement that in future time, there will be the Buddha. Okay, so you will say that like this, all the Brahma, they are waiting in anticipation for the Buddha to appear. They already know that the Buddha will appear, right? Okay, so we go here and okay now. So after the Brahma Sahampati, then after that the Buddha go to Benares, right? So we can continue the story there. Okay, now. Okay, so we from here. So he thinking about, oh, this one we finished, right? I think this one also not important. Okay, yeah, okay. Somebody read this one. Anybody want to volunteer? Just read this one. When he said so, yeah. I think Doris Chi. Okay. Doris Chi, you can read.
Okay, Sayaji. When he said so, the exalted one spoke to him thus. The following thought, O Brahma, occurred to me. This Dhamma, which I have comprehended, is not so easily understood by those who are dominated by lust and hatred. The lust-ridden, shrouded in darkness, do not see this Dhamma, which goes against the stream, which is abstruse, profound, difficult to perceive, and subtle. As I reflected thus, my mind turned into inaction and not to the teaching of the Dhamma. Brahma Sahampati appealed to the Buddha for the second time, and he made the same reply. When he appealed to the Buddha for the third time, the Exalted One, out of pity for beings, surveyed the world with his Buddha vision. Thus as he surveyed thus, he saw beings with little and much dust in their eyes, with keen and dull intellect, with good and bad characteristics, beings who are easy and beings who are difficult to be thought, and few others who will with fear view evil and a life beyond. As in the case of a blue, red, or white lotus pond, some lotuses are born in the water, grow in the water, remain immersed in the water, and thrive plunged in the water. Some are born in the water, grow in the water, and remained on the surface of the water. Some others are born in the water, grow in the water, and remain emerging out of the water, unstained by the water. Even so, as the Exalted One surveyed the world with his Buddha vision, he saw beings with little and much dust in their eyes, with keen and dull intellect, with good and bad characteristics, beings who are easy and difficult to be taught, and few others who, with fear, view evil and the life beyond. As he addressed the Brahma Sahampati in the verse thus, open to them are the doors to the deathless state. Let those who have ears repose confidence. Being aware of the veriness, O Brahma, I did not teach amongst men this glorious and excellent Dhamma. The delighted Brahma, thinking that he made himself the occasion for the Exalted One to expound the Dhamma, respectfully saluted him and, passing round him to the right, disappeared immediately.
Okay, thanks. Can stop here. All right. So okay, so this part is talking about the Buddha used the lotus simile, talking about the beans. That's why in the Buddhism we always got the lotus simile to indicate that some are in the water, grow in the water, some are in the surface, but some come out from the water, right? Unstained, because the mud water is very dirty, but the lotus, when it come out from the mud water, is always clean. The Chinese we call it 出污泥而外不染. Alright, so that's the huh?
出淤泥而不染.
出污泥而不染. Okay, right. So then the Buddha already want to teach already. Okay, so I think from here, okay, let's see. So the Buddha want to teach, and then so we call it using the simile of lotus. Okay, so the Buddha, you know that some beings submerged in sensual desire. Okay, also some emerge like the Buddha lah, from the sensual desire. This means that some can teach or some cannot be taught. No? Not everybody can teach, but some prefer to stay in the muddy water forever. Okay, then after that, right. Okay, so actually he already 7 weeks or finished the 7 weeks. Then he requested by the Brahma Sahampati, and then he will start to teach already. Okay, so go back to this book. I think this sequence is a little bit long. It should not be this one. Should be this one first. Yeah. On the way to Benares. Okay, this is interesting, no? Who he wanted to teach first. Okay, somebody please read. Volunteer, please read. Brother Tony, can you read? Yeah.
Okay. On the way to Benares to teach the Dhamma. On accepting the invitation to teach the Dhamma, the first thought that occurred to the Buddha before he embarked on his great mission was, to whom shall I teach the Dhamma first? Who will understand the Dhamma quickly? Well, there is Attara Kalama, who is learned, clever, wise, and has for long been with little dust in his eyes. How, if I were to teach the Dhamma to him first, he will understand the Dhamma quickly. Then the deity appeared before the Buddha and said, Lord, Alara Kalama died a week ago. With his supernormal vision, he perceived that it was so. And then he thought to Udaka Ramaputta. Instantly, a deity informed him that he died the evening before. With his supernormal vision, he perceived that it was so. Then he thought of Udaka Ramaputta. Instantly, a deity informed him that he died the evening before. With his supernormal vision, he perceived this to be so. Ultimately, the Buddha thought of the 5 energetic ascetics who attended to him during his struggle for enlightenment. With his supernormal vision, he perceived that they were residing in the deer park at Isipatana near Benares. So the Buddha stayed at Uravela till such time as he was pleased to set out for Benares. The Buddha was traveling on the highway when between Goya and the Bodhi tree, beneath those shade, he attained enlightenment. A wandering ascetic named Upaka saw him and addressed him thus. Extremely clear are your senses, friend. Pure and clean in your complexion. On account of whom has your renunciation been made, friend? Who is your teacher? Whose doctrine do you profess? The Buddha replied, all I have overcome are all I know. From all am I detached. All have I renounced. Wholly absorbed am I in the destruction of craving, arahantship. Having comprehended all by myself, whom shall I call my teacher? No teacher here, no teacher have I, and equal to me there is not. In the world, including gods, there is no rival to me. Indeed, an arahant am I in this world. An unsurpassed teacher am I. Alone am I the enlightened, the all-enlightened, cool and appeased am I. To establish the will of Dhamma to the city of Kasi, I go in this blind world. I shall beat the drum of deathlessness.
Okay, thanks. All right. So from here, okay, so we go back to just now, Brother Tony. Okay. So he want to pitch to who?
There are
At first.
three ascetic which the Buddha had in mind. One by one, he mentioned, and one by one, the Deva appeared and informed Buddha that they have passed away.
So only through the Deva only. Did he confirm it?
Yeah, he confirmed it. With his supreme eye, he confirmed it and understood that they have passed away.
Okay.
So then he was thinking, whom shall he teach? The next person. And he thought of the 5 ascetics that were with him during his initial period when they were both undergoing deep meditation to attain this enlightenment. So the thought came about was the 5 ascetics, and with his divine eye, he saw where they were, and he went to this. They were in Deer Park at Isipatana near Benares. So,
do you know the Pali word for Benares? Benares is Varanasi, right?
Varanasi, yeah.
Okay.
So
he
the
went
Buddha
there.
stayed on at Uravela till such time before he went out to Benares to meet up the 5 ascetics.
Okay, so we go back. So he on the way to Benares. So now before that he wanted to teach. The first one is Alala Kalama, right? The second one is Udaka Ramaputta. Okay.
Yeah.
But they have passed away already. Okay. So he wanted to teach to the 5 ascetic, his companion ascetic. Yeah.
Correct.
Now they were They were at the Benares, okay, Benares, yeah, Varanasi, okay, Varanasi. So he start to walk there, all right. So on the way, where he is, so between the Gaya and Bodh right?
Yeah.
Gaya, Bodh. Okay. Then he met some called Udaka.
On the way, he met
yeah.
a wandering ascetic, Upaka.
Okay.
And Upaka was so
Yeah.
engrossed with the look of the Buddha and started asking Buddha about
yeah.
how, who was his teacher.
So from this poem, what do you think is the significance of this poem?
He's telling to this ascetic that there's no other teacher.
No teacher, right?
Higher than him, and because he has attained everything.
So he also said that he is
the fully enlightened one.
Fully enlightened one, yes.
Yeah.
He say he's fully enlightened one. He also say he's a
Arahan in this
Arahan,
world.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes. And then he said he want to go to the city of Kasi.
Yeah.
Do you know what is the meaning of this wheel or Dhamma? Is it a real wheel or what is it?
No. It's just a saying. Wheel of Dhamma means to start his teaching. His teaching.
Okay, teaching of the Dhamma. All right.
Yeah.
So the Buddha told him that. So Buddha told him that what first thing, main things, Arahan, he's a Sama Sambuddha. And what else? So another fact is also very important. He has no teacher. Okay, no teacher. Okay, and then he's going to what Kasi, and then he's going to turn the wheel of the Dhamma. Right. This means that we call it the Dhamma Chakkapavatana. Right, turning the wheel of Dhamma means they start to teach the Dhamma. Okay. Then so please continue to read some more here. Then
friend, do you admit that you are an Arahant, a limitless conqueror? There was a question asked by Upaka. Like me, are conquerors who have attained to the destruction of defilements. All the evil conditions have I conquered. Hence, Upaka, I am called a conqueror. It may be so, friend, Upaka curtly remarked, and nodding his head, turned into a byroad and departed. Unperturbed by the first rebuff, the Buddha journeyed from place to place and arrived in due course at the deer park in Benares.
Okay, so when you read this one, what do you think yourself? It's very funny, you know.
Upaka, yes, he acknowledged him because Buddha was talking so highly of himself.
Okay.
And then since he cannot rebut the Buddha, he just turned away and walked off.
Okay.
So,
so he never paid respect to Buddha, right?
Yeah. He never paid respect, it's because he thought the Buddha, he's blowing his own trumpet. So he thought Buddha is blowing his trumpet, so he just turned and walked away. But not realizing that Buddha is the real
Buddha
now. So
later I think he also I think I remember the story. Later he also came back and become Buddha's disciple. Many years down there. Many years down there. Yeah.
So Buddha is not perturbed by all these attitude of this Upeka. So the Buddha will just carry on with his walk towards the park.
Okay. So this part I may call a conqueror, because this conqueror refer to the conqueror of all the defilements. It's not the last time they always obsessed with the idea of king, right?
Yeah.
So the Buddha say that the Buddha said that he is a conqueror. Okay, means that who have attained to all. Because if not, people thought that the Buddha say in terms of the one like the conquer like the king. There's another meaning, another meaning here. Okay, thanks, Brother Tony. All right, so I think we have go to this one. So I think we still have the chapter 5. So I see how many pages left. So I think today that's enough. So we have this one, and 5 aesthetic is interesting. So we leave it for next week. Okay. So I think it's okay. So in this way, we also learn from each other, and we also do the discussion. So it's good for me because long time I haven't touched the basic Buddhism. I also quite forget. All right. So anything you want to ask before I finish this session? So Bande, are you convenient for you to attend our class? Is it every this Saturday? Now you have moved to Sasana Laka.
Yes, they are still convenient. Okay.
Okay, how about the Pali class? Are you still convenient?
Also okay, I already got permission.
Permission.
Yeah.
I send you some the past year entrance to your handphone, no? Have you take a look? Not yet.
No, haven't.
Okay. Yeah, you later have a look. You see the past year question. I managed to take some photos and send to you, so you all can have a look and get prepared lah. There's an oral exam and then some written on the basic Buddhism like this. They will ask like 4 noble truths, maybe like Buddhism and the view about meditation, and also who is the Buddha also been asked before, and maybe 10 parami. So it's good to have some general knowledge like this. It will help you when you go for exam. Okay. Okay, if other student no question, we'll finish now.
Saiji,
Yes.
you see, if the Buddha seems like he's going to go to Kasi to turn the wheel,
Yeah.
no matter
Right.
who met him along the way will not be inspiring to inspire Buddha to give or to turn the wheel at that point, because I thought
Yeah.
Buddha has forecast or rather foresee that
Konanya.
is the only place.
Okay. Yeah, then maybe there's only play. Also, because the first one to listen will be who?
The
Konanya.
Balika Tapasu.
Yeah, but they never listen to Dhamma. They just give the food to the Buddha and they take refuge in the Buddha Dhamma. Wait, I think we missed that part. Wait, so yeah, this one we missed, right? Okay, so on the first 2 converts, you all can see, like, can you see the screen? Can So the Tapursa Barika, and then they offer the Buddha, and then yes. So okay, they protect themselves and then they take refuge in the Buddha Dhamma. See, we seek refuge in the Buddha, seek refuge in Dhamma. So they are the first person to take refuge in the Buddha and Dhamma, not the Sangha, no? Right? So at that time, no Sangha. And previously, also asking about the 4, right? Who give the alms bowl is the 4 guardian dewa. I think this one we miss portion just now. Right? So I think we better go through this one. All right. Okay. So, Barco, you read. Yeah, we missed this portion. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The first 2 converts, after his memorable fast for 49 days, as the Buddha sat under the Raja Yatana tree, 2 merchants, Tapasu and Balika from Okala, Orissa, happened to pass that way. Then a certain deity who was a blood relative of theirs in a past birth spoke to them as follows. The exalted one, good sirs, is dwelling at the foot of the Raja Yatana tree soon after his enlightenment. Go and serve the exalted one with flour and honeycomb. It will conduce to your well-being and happiness for a long time. Availing themselves of this golden opportunity, the 2 delighted merchants went to the exalted one and respectfully saluting him, implore him to accept their humble alms so that it may resound to their happiness and well-being. Then it occurred to the exalted one, the Tathagatas do not accept food with their hands. How shall I accept this flour and honeycomb? Forthwith, the 4 great kings understood the thoughts of the exalted one with their minds, and from the 4 directions offer him 4 granite bowls, saying, O Lord, may the exalted one accept herewith this flour and honeycomb.
Okay, then the
Buddha graciously accepted the timely gift, with which he received the humble offering of the merchants and ate his food after his long fast. After the meal was over, the merchants prostrated themselves before the feet of the Buddha and said, We, O Lord, take refuge in the Exalted One and the Dhamma. May the Exalted One treat us as lay disciples. We have sought refuge from today till death. These were the first lay disciples of the Buddha who embraced Buddhism by seeking refuge in the Buddha and Dhamma.
Okay.
Reciting
And then
the
reciting the
twofold formula.
twofold formula. Okay.
Thank
So
you.
okay, so yeah, so that means that they are the first two disciples because they take refuge in the Buddha and Dhamma. Right. So we just now we missed it. So okay, so after they take this, you call it what? Here they how they call the food, the food they call it the flour and honeycomb. Okay. Flour, fried flour, honey. Yeah. I think it's not flour, no, it's wheat, and they call it wheat and honeycomb. Yeah. Anyway, we know that yeah, this one should be wheat with honeycomb because flour you cannot eat with the flour, right? So these two were the first layman by taking refuge in Buddha and Dhamma. Okay. Yeah. So who is the first one to take Buddha Dhamma Sangha? That's you all.
Yasa's father?
Yasa father. Okay.
Or rather, it's actually Yasa, because the Yasa is actually Yasa Putta. His name is actually Yasa Putta. It's the son of Yasa. So the father should be Yasa.
Okay. Oh, okay. You learn in your basic Buddhism, right? That's good.
No, just now I think you mentioned that.
Huh? I didn't mention today.
Yeah, you mentioned, in fact, you highlighted just now, I think.
Okay. Anyway, all right. So they are the first one to take refuge in the Buddha and Dhamma. All right. So okay, we already covered the 7 weeks, right? And up to 8 weeks already. Right. Okay, Buddha Gola, and then after 7 weeks and what happened, and then the request by the Brahma Sahampati to teach, and then he want to teach the Alagama, but they passed away, and he confirmed with his supernormal power. Okay, then he wanted to teach the ascetic, and then they were at the Varanasi. Then on the way, he met this. What's the significance of this upaka is because he confirmed that, all right. So the Buddha told him that he was Arahant Samapana. This is more important, and he confirmed that tell him that by this fact that he already say very clearly he's a Sammasambuddha and he is no teacher. Then he wanted to turn the wheel of Dhamma, right? And then he already say that he is a conqueror. From this fact already show that he is already an Arahant, fully enlightened one. Okay, he has attained the destruction of all defilements. Okay, I think this one we finished already. Okay. Oh, this one meant same. Yeah, this one I copy. I think this one I do it today. Okay. Then this one is same like just now. Okay. Yeah, later I need to arrange the notes again. But it's good for me because I think when I study with you all, I really also get to know basic Buddhism because I studied it many years already down the road. Okay. Anyway, thanks for you all for participation and also answering question and answer. It's good we discuss in this way, so everybody also benefits from this session.
Yeah, but
All right.
Sayagi, I'm wondering when these two wanted to offer flour and honey to the Buddha,
Okay.
the Buddha was thinking how to accept when they are not supposed to accept directly with the hand. Why?
Yeah. Because
Why
Buddha never
why he cannot just accept directly from the hand?
Why? Okay. Yeah, because he's a Buddha.
Yeah.
Not normal being. Normal being will accept by hand is very, we call it, even in Myanmar culture. It's good. In Myanmar culture, if you offer people things, you offer to monks, have to put on a tray.
Yeah, the monks now is because they follow what was practiced by the Buddha. But from the start, from the very start, why the Buddha must differentiate? I cannot accept food direct from your hand.
Okay. But when you accept something with accept like here, accept something with the tray, whatever, means that you also, in a way, you also respect the food offer, you know. They all offer to Buddha because they respect the Buddha, right? Then
Yeah.
the Buddha accept properly with another things. Is also the Buddha also receive properly, because receive properly here. That's the idea, receive properly, and maybe that's the way we should use it.
See, I mean, in our layman's
Okay.
practice is that if
Mhm.
I give you something, I give you with my hand, and you
Okay.
accept with your hand, it
Yes.
means you accept it. If I want to
Yeah.
give you something, but instead of giving it to your hand, I just place it on the table and let you take yourself.
Yeah, the Buddha
I'm
also
not
received
I'm
by
not saying,
hand. The Buddha also received by hand, but not on the hand. It's on the bowl he hold with his hand. Buddha also received with the hand, right?
yeah,
But there's something that call something, a bowl to receive the food, and maybe the food, and also maybe we can think the food nature is not easy to hold by hand. Maybe very sticky or whatever, right? Because it's talking honey, you know, it's what wheat with honey. Then I always say it's very sticky.
wheat
Right or
with
not?
honey. I think is they sort of cook the the wheat
Yeah,
with
it's a
the
dry
honey.
one. Yeah,
Then
right.
from there they roll it in the ball,
Mm.
and from there they can carry it along their
Yeah,
journey.
yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, that's the idea. So maybe we look at this book. So let's say we have no answer. I also don't know the answer. So let me see if this book. All right. So this one, okay. Now the one, the Tathagata do not accept food with their hands.
Do not accept.
Yeah, that's the statement say. Do not accept food with their hands. So the Buddha do not want to accept direct with the hand. So he prefer to accept with the bowl. And also in the Vinaya rules, of course, monk also as a rules, the monks receive the food attentively in their bowl. Yeah. But because at that time when the Buddha meditated, I think he has no bowl. That's why the four great kings, they four direction, they offer the bowls, and then the Buddha make them together so they become only one bowl. All right. Yeah, that's the answer given. The Buddha do not accept food with their hands. All right. So we just leave it like that. Okay. Anyway. Okay. If no question, we just finish here. All right. Thanks for.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Thank you for joining this session.
Saji,
Yeah.
just a minor question.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the Dhamma as the teacher, the Buddha was at Ajapala tree.
Mm-hmm.
Then to expound the Dhamma, he moved from Raja Yatana tree to Ajapala tree.
Mm.
And then the two converts, Buddha was at Raja Yatana tree.
Mm.
So if we read at these three passages, to me it seems that he received the two converts first.
Yeah, I think the Buddha in teaching, there's something wrong with the sequence in this book, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering.
Yes. When I read this one, the sequence here is wrong. Yeah, there's something arrangement. The passage is right, but the arrangement is wrong. Yeah. The invitation should be come later after he received the food. Yeah, there's something wrong here. So I think that's why some of the vulnerable also kind of like last time they also told me this kind of book is a little bit trouble in the sequence. The text is okay, but the sequence about this like Brahma Sahampati should not be after this. Sahampati should be later. Okay.
Because here,
but the Buddha is on his mission to expound the Dhamma. When these two merchants met up with the Buddha and offered him food and also bow down to the Buddha to be accepted as his first lay followers, why didn't Buddha expound the Dhamma to them?
Because they are not ready. Not everybody can be listen to Dhamma, no? Not everybody. Only like those Kondanya who have acquired so much parami in the past, when the Buddha preached to them, they can be enlightened. If the Buddha are going to expound the Dhamma to them, they will not be enlightened. That's why the Buddha didn't teach at this time. They cannot be enlightened at all. They,
So the
they do
Buddha
not have the parami to be enlightened. They only got the good merits to offer the food to the Buddha because of due to their relatives who come and ask them to persuade them to come and offer food.
So
They
the
will not be
Buddha
enlightened at all.
will only
Yeah.
expound his Dhamma to those
Yes.
whom
yes.
he thinks can be enlightened.
Yeah, that's why the Buddha said Dhamma Chakrapawatana. He will turn the wheel of Dhamma by preaching to the 5 ascetics. That's why the Buddha was thinking who have enough intelligence to listen to Dhamma. He was thinking the Alala Kalama, then the Uddaka Lama Putta, because all these have very good meditation, right? They can attain very high jhana. They also have enough wisdom to contemplate the very deep Dhamma, you know. Because if the Buddha going to preach the Dhamma, he's going to preach to these two, but they cannot be enlightened. So what's the point of preaching to them? They thought they cannot be enlightened at all. They only come and offer food. Okay.
So that means presently all the various sangha should not be expounding the Dhamma to us layperson, because
no. Yeah, this is only the this is the starting place. Starting place of the Buddha will choose. That's why the Buddha choose properly his first listener, right? The starting is very important. Yeah, so far that's why when we say the Dhamma, in terms of Dhamma, you have to see which Dhamma is very important. The Dhamma Chakrapawatana Sutta is very important because it's the first utterance, the first teaching of the Buddha. And then the last one, the Buddha before he passed away. All these Dhamma are very important. The first and last will be the important. Okay. So that's why I think most people will know the Dhamma Chakrapawatana Sutta. Even the name is so long, Dhamma Chakrapawatana Sutta. The name is so long. People also know this name. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
So no question. Thank you.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you,
See you
thank
next
you.
time. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Sadhu, sadhu.